Now we will see how to use the adapter design pattern through a basic example. We will create a new solution. Then we will add a project to this solution. Based on the structure of the pattern, the client will use the functionality of different components through the target interface. So I'm going to add the target interface first. We'll put a method called as request, and we will also put a virtual destructor. Then we will write code that shows the client will invoke the method request on the target. We'll assume this function is the client. This accepts a target pointer and invokes a request method. We will invoke this function from main. But first, let's create the component that has an incompatible interface which contains the right functionality that the client wants to use. So we will add a class called as adaptee. Adaptee contains a method called as specific request. Here we will just display a message so that we know this method has been invoked. Let's look at the class diagram. You won't be able to see the client here because it's a function and Visual Studio cannot show it in the class diagram. So I will add it manually. The client uses a target. It invokes the method request on the target. Now it wants to use the functionality in adaptee, but it has a different interface. So what do we do here? We can create a wrapper class which will inherit from target. So it will have the same interface as that of the target, but it will internally use the functionality of the adaptee. So we will add a class called as adapter. This will inherit the interface target. Now there are two ways we can use this wrapper. One is using composition and other is inheritance. Let's use composition first. So I'm going to create the instance of adaptee here. And then in request, we will invoke the method on the adaptee. That's it. We'll go back to main, and here we will create an instance of the adapter and call client. And here we can see the client calls the method request on the target. So polymorphically the method is invoked on the adapter that internally makes a call to the specific request of the adaptee. So here we have the client that will use the functionality of the adaptee through the adapter. This is the object adapter. Now let's see how we can implement the class adapter. In case of class adapter, the adapter will inherit from the adaptee. We can keep this so as not to disturb the layout of the class diagram. But instead of invoking the specific request through the object, we will invoke it directly because it is inherited. The output will not change. That remains same. But if we look at the class diagram, then you can see this adapter inherits from adaptee. And let's display this as a member. This is the class adapter. So the purpose of the adapter is to convert an incompatible interface into a compatible interface. So it allows components with different interfaces to work together.